So guys, I really appreciate you guys for taking out time to join the live stream. And even though it's 12 a.m. right now, I really appreciate you guys. So man, today's World Cup final was crazy. I'm actually a Messi fan, but all these Ronaldo fans are making me to laugh. But it's all good. So yeah, as usual, Sensei OG here. So this is going to be our live stream for our weekly review and also Q&A question, because I know most of you in the group have so many questions to ask me on some of my trade setup and the psychology behind it, and most especially confirmation, because I always emphasize on confirmation. So you guys have a chance to ask me today, but for now we need to look into our weekly review and as I analyze or as we look out for setup or directional bias, right? If you have any question in the middle of the analysis, you can raise your hand, signify you understand, and I will mute the mic for you to speak. So yeah, let's go. So basically, this Bitcoin. We're starting with Bitcoin. Let me delete all these tools there. And mind you, we're in the third week of July. So heading to my weekly time frame. And basically right now, we all know where Bitcoin is heading to, right? Because as I explained on my last market review, you understood that Bitcoin have actually broke a major high, right, on the weekly time frame, right? But this doesn't really matter. It does actually, but as a day trader, I don't really pay attention to that much. But what I pay attention to, the first thing here is the liquidity that was swept here, right? Now I know the reason why after price broke structure, it started going back up, right? Then now looking at this particular leg here, down to this place, right? This is the leg I'll be paying attention to, right? I have no business with these other guys here. Can you guys still hear me? Let me unmute somebody. Nice, Emmanuel. Yeah, Emmanuel, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay, awesome.
Yes, I can
Awesome.
hear you.
Okay, awesome. All right. So I'll be looking at this particular price action leg here, this leg here, for my analysis from the weekly time frame. Now, looking at this is a very big leg actually, if you have to look at it this way, because this is a whole week leg, right? Like a whole 1 week, on the 1 week time frame, I mean, you understand? So now, since I know why the market is buying up, the next thing I want to do here, right, as a day trader that's looking for setup or maybe to know where the market is going to, right? First, right, I will use my FIB to mark from here down to this place. Even though I know that this is the weekly time frame, I will want to know where the price is going to stop or want to go to. You understand? And most times, whenever I mark my FIB to and I want to get into the market, right, I would like to aim for the 50% level. That means whenever, because basically this particular buy right now, right, is actually a reversal to me on a higher time frame. It's actually a reversal, right, into, or should I say a retracement, sorry, into this 50% zone, because obviously Bitcoin is bearish, into this 50% zone. So now I know that there's a high chance of price buying into this zone. You understand? So now, since I know that, that doesn't mean I will be buying always, you understand? I can decide to sell, I can decide to buy as a day trader. So now, something like this, the next thing I want to do, right, I want to go down to the daily time frame, right? And heading down to the daily time frame, this particular leg was the leg we saw on weekly time frame, and look how big it is, you understand? So on the daily time frame, I won't really pay attention to that because I've already marked out what I need. I've marked out this particular place, knowing that eventually price will get to this place. You understand? But as I said, I don't need to be buying always, right? Price can decide to go the other way around before heading to this particular target. You understand? So now looking at the daily time frame, there's another major break of structure here, right, on this particular place. So now, since I have another major break of structure, I'll be looking at this particular leg now here for any possible setup. And mind you, looking at this particular leg, the setup I can see here is a sell setup. You understand? And obviously, Bitcoin currently is bearish. You understand? Bitcoin is bearish right now. So now looking at it, the next thing I would like to look for is my liquidity and my key level. You understand? My liquidity and my key level. So first off, I know so many people be asking what is liquidity. Liquidity is just more of where so many stop orders or stop loss are being placed. You understand? For example, look at this particular high here. This particular high is a liquidity. Why? Because there are so many people who place their stop loss here. And wherever there's stop loss, there is money. You understand? So I'll be expecting the market to draw into this particular zone, which is this liquidity here. Right, then there's a key level here, which is an open close level. This particular place, open close level, this is called an open close level. So what I'm expecting Bitcoin to do this new week, right, as a day trader, right, I expect Bitcoin to buy into this place, right, then sell down to any of this zone, any of this liquidity. This too is a liquidity, right? This too is a liquidity. So to sell down to this place, I wouldn't want to how will I put it, to over-try my luck, right? Actually, it's not luck, you understand, but I wouldn't want to hold the trade down to this particular place because this is the main target now. This particular place is the main target that Bitcoin will be coming down to, right? But due to the liquidity here that was stripped from the higher time frame, right, I know why the market is buying. You understand? So I wouldn't want to sell down to this place because obviously I know that if price sell down from due to the setup down to this place or somewhere here, it will buy to our weekly target. You understand? So basically this week I'll be looking to sell Bitcoin from this place down to somewhere here. Now, if we're placing our short to there, using this particular high as our stop loss, right? This is about 1 to 3, almost 1 to 3. I like 1 to 3 a lot. So now this is what I'm looking at for Bitcoin for this new week. You understand? Mind you, Bitcoin can decide to do whatever he wants to do. You understand? But as long as you stick to your rule, no confirmation, no entry, you understand, you're safe. You understand? So to me, this will be my first TP. This particular place, my first TP. Then this place I put here, my second TP, which is the final TP. So that is that for Bitcoin. Then moving down to Japan 225. Japan 225. If you notice, I didn't go down to the lower time frame, right? Because this is actually a weekly analysis. I can decide to go down to 4 hours if I want to. You understand? Let me go back to Bitcoin. Let's go down to 4 hours, but I don't want this particular live stream to be long. You understand? So let's go down to 4 hours so you guys can see something. And mind you, why this particular setup is valid is due to this another liquidity here, a previous week high, right? And if you remember, I always say a previous week high is always a liquidity. You understand? And there's another key level here. Aside the open close level key level I point out, there's another key level here. This is an inverse key level, making this particular POI very strong for a sell to occur, a strong sell to occur. You understand? And mind you, these guys too, they are liquidity, right? And I'm sure due to this key level here, this key level will attract price down to this place. I'm sure of that. But let's go down to 4 hours. Now looking at 4 hours, we are still on Bitcoin, please. I just want to go down to lower time frame so we can see other things that is going to make us to get in on the sell. So now on this particular place, from the 1 week key level, there's another key level on the 4 hours. If you notice, price haven't like tested that, and there's a liquidity sitting right before that. Then going down to 2 hours now, right? On the 2 hours, there's a key level there and also a liquidity. I mean, this liquidity here, and then now look at this place. There's an order block. There's a 2 hours order block. And before this 2 hours order block occur, a liquidity was swept here. You understand? Making this setup here a valid setup for sale. But mind you, no setup is valid until confirmation is being seen. You understand? Whenever you don't have a confirmation, you don't have a setup. You understand? So let's go back to the 1 week, then go back to Japan 225. So now this Japan 225, I'll be clearing all these things off. So now looking at this Japan 225 have been buying very hard. You understand? Have been buying very, very hard for a very long time. So now, but looking at this particular price action here, right? We'll notice that before Japan 225 started selling, it swept a particular high, then closed inside. You understand? This particular candle sweep this previous week high, then close inside. Whenever we see something like this, where a bullish candle later turned to a bearish candle, sweeping the high and closing inside, this is called a CRT. You understand? That's what we call CRT, which is candle range theory. You understand? So now this, whenever you see a candle range theory like this, and there's a key level here, always expect price to come back to this key level or into this zone, tap it, then deliver to this particular low, which it did. You understand? But that is not what we're looking at right now. What we're looking at right now is to know the reason behind the sell. And I just explained it. The reason behind this sell is the CRT that I'll call here. You understand? So now, what do we need to do here now to know whether we need to buy, whether we need to sell? Now, this is what we need to do. In a scenario like this, right? I mark out liquidities and key level, since this is weekly analysis, you understand, and I'm analyzing from the weekly time frame, right? So I'll mark out my first key level here, this one. This particular key level is what is making this particular candle to push back up in. You understand? Then what next? I'll mark out liquidity. This is a liquidity that have not been swept. You understand? So now, all this particular key level and liquidity I'm marking, they are bullish key levels and liquidity. What do I mean? I mean, whenever this particular key level or liquidity have been swept, you will see market starts reversing inside or buying up. You understand? So now, looking at this chart now, what do I expect this market to do? There are two things involved. Number one, I would like to see how this candle close, right? And if this candle close by breaking this particular low with the body, right? This is the price, or should I say this market is telling me that it's still willing to sell more. You understand? No matter whether there's a liquidity downward or there's a key level there to push price upward. You understand? So if this particular weak candle actually close bearishly like this with the body, okay, with the body like this, right? What I'm expecting market to do or price to do, right, for the new week is to push back inside, right? No matter where it wants to go to, push back inside, then sell down. So now, for me to understand this particular price action well, I'll have to go down to my daily time frame of 4 hours. You understand? Because this is just a beginning of a sell, right? More like we are looking at where the sell started from. So we'll go down to daily time frame. Now, looking at our daily time frame, right? There are so many fair value gap here, but I don't really care about fair value gap, as I always say. So still on this daily time frame, what I would like to look for, I'll look for a valid break of structure, right? And right here, there's a valid break of structure here. And with this valid break of structure, no matter what this particular leg here is showing me, this particular price action here, right? As long as this place, this low here, have not been broken with the body of the candle, right? This particular trade or this particular pair is bullish. You understand? Until this low here, until this particular low is being like taken out with the body. So now this is why it is good to always go down to lower time frame whenever you have a scenario like this. You understand? Let me delete all these guys. So there's a valid break of structure here. And looking at this particular low here, this particular low is looking like a inducement, right? An inducement liquidity. It's looking like an inducement liquidity. And on the daily time frame too, I'll be looking for liquidity and key level. There's another key level here. This is an inverse key level, which the what they call it, markets use, or should I say the price used. So now this particular presence, the presence of this liquidity, this inducement liquidity, will give me an idea to either go for buy or for sell. Now, this is what I mean. This is what I mean here. So since this particular law have not been taken out, my analysis, or should I say my bias here, will still be to buy this particular market. You understand, to a certain level. You get me? So now let's see. There's a key level here too. This particular place. This is an open close. Price, I've used it. And this particular candle here, this is an order block. And looking at this order block, what I need to do, I need to go down to the 4 hours time frame, not just because of the order block, but because of the strong rejection that I'll call here, right? This particular rejection that I'll call here, that is the main reason I'm going down to lower time frame. That is the main reason I'm going to lower time frame. So looking at this lower time frame, right? There's an order block here. This is a very strong order block. Price have used it and pushed up. So now I know why the price is buying back up. So now looking at this particular price action, this small one here, right? What would I like to see here? I would like to see an MSS. You understand? Since price have not, mind you, price have not taken out this particular low with the body. You understand? So I'll be looking at this particular leg for an MSS in order to buy into this zone. You understand? I hope you guys don't mind. This is just me being raw, like with my analysis. You understand? This is just me telling you guys things from my head. You understand? Just being raw. So enjoy it, guys. So I'll be looking for a market structure shift, right? Which is MSS, also known as confirmation. So I'll go to 1 hour. I will not be going down to 30 minutes or 15 minutes. So looking at this particular, going down to 1 hour here, I can see a sweep of liquidity here. I can see a sweep of liquidity here. You can see a single candle order block here. Single candle order block. But I've not really seen any solid market structure shift aside this place, aside this guy here. Actually, this is a solid, this is a good market structure shift, but it's kind of sketchy, to be frank. So looking at this, let me go to 30 minutes, even though I said I'm not going to go down to lower time frame. I can actually accept this particular guy here as a market structure shift due to the sweep here and the break of structure above. And there's a liquidity here. This liquidity. This is an inducement liquidity. Why? Because immediately price broke structure, it pulled back down, right? And if you guys remember, there was a what do they call it? A single candle order block here. So I would like to reduce this order block down to this place, to this 30 minutes order block, right? So now I have a clear view of what I want to do on this particular trade. So now I'll be expecting the price to, or should I say, price actually. Let me go back to 1 hour so that I can be able to know my TP for this particular trade. So I'm expecting price. Let's see. This is the way I get my TP. If I want to get my TP, I go to the higher time frame, look for a key level, right? So I need to head to 4 hours. Now looking at 4 hours, if we look at this particular leg is just plain, just straight, falling down straight without any remorse. No liquidity was created, nothing was created. Even on the 1 hour, you notice that there was no liquidity here. What do I mean by that? This is what I mean. For example, if you notice, price was just falling straight without creating any pullback, any strong pullback like this. This particular tip of this zone is a liquidity. You understand? So there's no liquidity, strong liquidity. Some people might classify these guys as liquidity, but these are not liquidities to me. You understand? Because they don't have that solid A shape or solid V shape. You understand? This A shape is mostly used for bearish reversal, where price will have to come up, sweep it, then fall down. Let me try to make this thing fast. It seems like this is turning into a lecture. So what I'll be expecting here on my 4 hours time frame for my TP, for me, I don't want to be greedy. What I want to do first is to use my FIB to mark from the top down to the bottom here. So what I'll be looking for, I'll be looking to take my TP from the 50% level or inside the 50% level. So there's a key level here. There's a key level here, close to above the 50% level. So I'll be expecting price to pull back down here, right? Tap this place, then deliver to this place. But overall, on our weekly time frame, when the new week open, I'll be expecting price to do the same thing. You understand? So the new week target will be inside the 50% zone of this particular candle, of this particular single candle. Mind you, now on our weekly time frame, our TP is still resting inside the 50% zone. This 0.5 is 50% zone. Let me unmute somebody here to know if you guys are actually understanding me. Let me see. Fisher Severina. Yeah, I just unmute you, Severina. Are you guys understanding me? Aruli, are you here? Hello, can anybody hear me? Let me unmute DJ. Okay, awesome. Okay. Awesome. So you guys are understanding me, correct? Okay. So what we're expecting Japan 225 to do, the new week, pull back down into this zone, right? Then buy into the 50% level or anywhere. But to me, for me to be safe, right, I'll be looking at this place. You understand? But mind you, the price is still bullish. You understand? But due to the new price action, right, price can decide to sell. And depending on how this candle close, if this candle close breaking the body of this particular body here, right, then we're having a strong sell. Even though this particular setup still stand, right, price tapping into this place before going into this zone. So let's go to Sliver. Okay, on Sliver, I have a setup here on Sliver. Let me see what is happening there, DXF. Let's go to 1 hour. No, actually, it's actually selling. So this is a good sign. But let me wipe all these things off. So back to 1 week. I'll try to be fast. Try to be fast on this one, so we can ask our question. So looking at this particular price action, right, on the weekly time frame, this price action have already given us the sign that okay, this particular pair is ready to sell, obviously, which it's selling. You understand? Even though Sliver have actually buy hard, very hard, but with all this sell downward, price is actually bearish. You understand? The only thing we need to do, right, is to look for sell, 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 sell. You understand? The only reason you want to buy on this particular pair or this particular price action, except price is resting on the discount level before you can buy. What do I mean by that? Let me just give a quick example of what I mean by that. Now, for example, we have a sell trend like this, right? Which is what is happening here. So now, if you notice this particular low that price have created, price broke a major low, right? And it is resting on the discount zone, right? Something like this now, you can decide to buy into the 50% level. You understand? So this is a valid reason to buy, but I won't want to risk that except I see the necessary things I need to see. So now looking at this particular chart, there was a major break of structure here, right? And I'm sure on the daily there's a break of structure here. There's a break of structure here. So what do I need to do here? I need to mark out my key levels, right? There's a key level here, number 1, which is an open close candle. And also there's a key level here, right? And there's a fair value gap here, right? So this fair value gap is going to push price to come downward. You understand? We'll draw price downward to this particular place. So now looking at that now, I want to go down to the daily time frame. Heading down to the daily time frame. Price actually broke structure, as I said. Now, what do I want to look for here again? I want to look for another key levels and liquidity. There's a key level here, number 1. There's a key level here, number 2, right? And mind you, price just sweep this particular low, right, and close inside, right? I just remember something that I have a sell setup on this particular pair, but mind you, that sell setup is from last week. You understand? It's not from this new week we just enter. So that's why we're making a weekly analysis to know how the new week is going to go. You understand? So as a trader like me, right, I wouldn't want to risk it to stick with that my last week sell setup because we just entered a new week. So that's the main reason we're analyzing. So analyzing this particular pair, we notice that price have broken major structure here, right, on the daily time frame. And this particular candle, the previous day, sweep this liquidity, then close inside the range. You understand? Giving us a candle range theory. You understand? CRT. And if you guys remember from what I just said earlier, I said whenever we have something like this, we will likely see price coming down to this particular key level before buying up. You understand? And since this is a daily time frame, right, we can decide to use our fib to mark our drawing from here while targeting this particular high as a long-term target. You understand? That is just for just, how will I put it? Just have that in mind, that price, there's a high chance for Sliver to buy into this place. Oh, that is not what we want to see for now. So now looking at this particular CRT right here that have occurred, what do we want to see here? We want to see price this new week, right, sell down to this key level. As I said, you understand, tap that place, then buy up. You understand, buy up into this zone, right? But this will take time. This might take time to reach this place. You understand? Even though price is bearish, please. As I said earlier, if price is bearish, that doesn't mean you should just sell. You understand? You can also see opportunity to buy as long as that buy setup is sitting on the discount zone. You understand? And obviously, this is sitting on the discount zone. So we want to see price come down, then buy into this zone or above. So now let's go down to 4-hour time frame. So we'll see. We'll have a clear view, or should I say, more understanding on why price should buy from there. Let's see. And my previous week sell setup on this particular pair, I think my my TP was around here. So price selling down to this place is also a win for that setup. Coming down to 4 hours, I can't really see anything clear here. price is just being like just playing around here. So I'll go back to my weekly time frame. Yep. So this is what I'm expecting for silver to do, right? Due to the CRT we saw on daily time frame, right? Due to the CRT, I'll be expecting price to sell down a little bit, then buy up, right? Into this particular, into the 50% zone of this particular range. So this is what I'm expecting for silver. Then let's go to gold. I don't really fancy gold that much, to be frank. I don't really fancy gold gold that much. During my early trading days, gold show me shaggy. I think I have a setup on gold self. Let's go down to 1 hour. Let's go down to 1 hour. Let's see. I have a sell setup on gold. Price didn't come back to that place, but it actually swept the liquidity. But that is by the way. Let's go back to our 1 week to make our weekly analysis. Let me delete all these things. Now, gold also have that bearish trend, and obviously it's bearish. You understand? Obviously, gold is bearish. Now, what do we want to pick out from this weekly time frame? We want to pick out our key level and liquidities. All right. Let's see. This one has been used. This particular guy here, this is a liquidity actually. Right. This is a liquidity actually. But whenever a low like this sweep a previous low, right, the new low created tend to be protected. You understand? This particular low now tends to be a protected low. You understand? So looking at this now, we can't really call it a liquidity, but we can call it a liquidity. You understand? But in the perspective of not calling it a liquidity is due to it have swept a previous low. You understand? So the liquidity here now is this particular guy. This particular low now is a liquidity. You understand? But mind you, gold is bearish, please. Mind you, gold is bearish. So now, this is our liquidity here. These are protected low, right? But this low now, no matter how this low might be looking protected with all the grammar I just speak right now, if we go down to 4 hours or daily time frame, and we can't see any key levels like order block, breaker block, or something very substantial, right? This particular protected low is useless. You understand? So I would like to pick out key levels on this particular leg. There's an open close here. I can't really mark this particular guy, this guy here. I can't mark this guy as an open close because the week just opened and the week have not ended or closed. So now let's look at this particular place. Now there is a break of structure here that I'll call here on the weekly time frame, right? And having such break of structure, like I said on Japan 225, if the week closed with a break of structure, that means price is going to sell hard. Not just sell hard, it's going to buy too, but the obvious directional bias you need to have is to sell. You understand? So now this is what I'm going to look. Let me go down to 4 hours. Let me see if that particular low I said is protected. Is actually protected. Let's see. There's nothing substantial here. So that protected leg I was claiming, right, is not really protected. You understand? So there's a high chance for price to come down and sweep this particular low. You understand? So what I need to be doing here, I need to be looking for a sell setup, not a buy setup. Since even though I saw a sweep of higher time frame liquidity and close inside, but due to there's no key level on the 4 hours, right? I'm not going to what do they call it? Buy this particular trade. So what I'm going to look for is a sell setup. Let's see. Okay. So looking for a sell setup here. Let me go back to my weekly time frame again. So now there's a sell key level here. There's a sell inverse key level. I think this is just a normal key level. Okay, it's an inverse actually. It's an inverse key level. Now, the reason why I'm marking this key level is to know where price might retrace to for a sell continuation to target this zone here, number one zone. Then number two, we can classify this as number two. Then number three here. But all this might take time. You understand? So now looking at this particular sell key level I marked, I want to go to daily time frame to mark out key levels again. You understand? when you're actually analyzing the analyzing price from higher time frame, you don't need to look for how will I put it, anything crazy. Just look for key level and liquidities. You understand? So on the daily time frame, there's a key level here, right, which is a Malaysian support resistance key level, which is this, right? And which other key level here? I can't really mark this guy as an open close key level. I can actually mark it. It's an inverse open close key level. Why? Because there's a candle that closed up below it. You understand? But let me don't make things complicated. So this is my key level here, my sell key level. Then let's see. I can't see any other key level here, another sell key level. So what I'll need to do, I'll go down to my 4 hours time frame. I'll go down to my 4 hours time frame. Now looking at this 4 hours time frame, the key level I marked from daily is still here. You understand? It's still sitting on a very sweet spot for me. It's sitting down on a open close level. Then mind you, since we're on the daily time, on the 4 hours time frame, we're not just looking for only liquidity and key level right now. We're looking for a valid break of structure. And since we're aiming to sell, there's a valid break of structure here, a sell break of structure here. There's another one here. You understand? So even though this price, even though price is actually looking as if it's selling really hard right now, right? There's a high possibility that price is actually still going to buy up. You understand? Why? Because a major break of structure have occurred. You understand? A major break of structure have occurred. So price may actually buy back up in. Looking at this particular leg, this particular place, this is looking like a liquidity to me, but until I go down to lower time frame before I will decide that. So, but there's another key level here. All right, there's another key level. This is an inverse key level. And this is just me being raw with my analysis, just telling you guys from my head. You understand? Also, I noticed something here. There's a sweep of liquidity here. You understand? So this particular high is not a liquidity, right? Making this place, this particular bullish candle or orange candle is an order block, which is also a key level. So let's go down to our 1 hour time frame. On our 1 hour time frame, right? Let's see. Okay. So the key level from 4 hours, which you just marked, this order block is still valid. You understand? It's still valid. So there's a sweep here. There's a sweep there. So now, this is what I'm looking at now. There's a liquidity here. This is a liquidity. This is also a liquidity. This particular high is also a liquidity. But now, the difference between these two liquidity, right? This is the difference here. One actually occur before the break of this major low, and one occur after the break. What do I mean by that? Let me use a line drawing. For example, now we're on a bearish trend, but before price break this particular low, right, it created a pullback like this, then break structure. You understand? This particular pullback, right? This particular pullback can be classified as structural liquidity. You understand? So this is it here. This is structural liquidity. Then this liquidity here that occur after the major break of structure, this is an inducement. You understand? This is what I mean. It broke structure, pull back in. You understand? So this is an inducement. So now, what do I mean by that? If you notice, everything I've been explaining is aligning with my higher time frame bearish trend, right? Because I marked out this key level here from 4 hours, and this particular zone also carried our daily key level, because if you remember, I dragged this particular line downward. So this is what I was expecting on gold, right? I was expecting a sell from this zone. No matter how hard this particular price action is selling, right? I don't really care. You understand? I'm expecting price to come back into this zone, right? This will be my stop loss. Then my target will be here. My target will be here, close to my weekly target for the sell. If you guys remember, I marked this particular guys from the weekly time frame. Everything is matching. So my target will be here. I like 1 to 3 and 1 to 4. So I would like to put it on this key level. If you remember, I said most times my TP are resting on key levels. So here. So this is what I'm expecting on gold. Let's go back to the 1 week time frame. Let's see, where is that? Let me adjust this particular guy wide so that I can see it on the weekly time frame. It's still not visible. Let's see. I think it's somewhere here, close to this place. Look at it, close to this place. Yeah. So what I'll be expecting on gold, no matter how gold is actually buying right now, right? I mean selling right now, right? I'll be expecting gold to either do something like this, either to come down to somewhere here, or I don't really know what is going to make the gold buy back up, but there's a high chance it's going to buy back up due to, I don't really know why it's going to buy. I know why it's going to buy back up, because there are liquidities and key level above that is going to draw price upward. You understand? So I'll be expecting gold to do whatever shenanigans they want to do, then pull back up to this place, then sell down to all these liquidities to deliver. You understand? So this is what I'm expecting gold to do. And mind you, if during the week gold presented another sell setup on this particular new week candle, right, I'm still going to go for them. It's not must that I'm going to stick to this particular setup. Gold might decide to provide another setup, and I'll go with that, as long as it is sell setup. You understand? So that is that for gold. Let me see. Hope you guys are following. Hope I'm not being too technical. Can you guys hear me? Are you guys following? If you can hear me, or if you are following, just signify. If you're not following, please ask me questions. Let me unmute like almost all of you. I just unmuted everybody. So if you are following, please let me know. You can unmute your mic and speak. And you can ask. Yeah, I can hear you, Emmanuel. Are you following?
Yes, I'm following.
Hope I'm not being too technical.
No, not much. I'm even having the same setup in gold also.
Okay, awesome. If you're not following, please, if any of the language or the words I'm using is technical for you, just unmute your mic and speak. You understand? I like whenever I'm teaching or whenever I'm trying to explain something, we both communicate. So that is that for gold. Let's move down to USD JPY. This USD JPY actually showed me shaggy. I think last week, even though I did 1 to 4, my second setup actually hit SL. My second setup hit SL, not actually hit the total SL, because I know if I actually explain it in the group that I'm going to be leaving the setup, or should I say price, the trade, I mean, before it hit SL, and it actually hit SL. So I'm looking at this particular price action on USD JPY. Price is actually bullish. You understand? And the main reason why I wanted to sell was due to I was selling from a premium zone, a premium zone. I'm selling from a premium zone. So let's see. Let me delete all these guys. So what do I mean by I'm selling from a premium zone? I mean, like, price have been buying too much. You understand? price have been buying too much. And whenever something buys up too much, it begins to sell. You understand? So looking at this particular price action, let's see. Let me go down to, let me mark out key levels first. There's an open close key level here for buy. And I don't really like this price action. There's a key level here. Mind you, every high and low of previous week candle, right? There are liquidities. You understand? There are liquidities. So since I can't really see any clear stuff here, let me go to daily. And this particular candle here, this particular strong sell candle, this was the main reason that made me to engage in selling, because this actually signify price wanting to sell. You understand, from the premium zone. But look my dad get the market price if he decide to do anything. So coming down on the daily time frame, I want to mark out my key levels too. So I'll be marking out this key level here. This is my first key level on USDJPY on the daily time frame. And also there's a key level here which will mark from the weekly time frame, and price have actually used it and sell and buy up. You understand? And yep, as I was saying, so this is what we're looking at here. This particular candle still stand, you understand, as per my major condition for wanting to sell. You understand? So now this sell key level that I marked here, what I'll need to do here, I'll look for liquidity downward that might make price to sell down. You understand? So looking at this guy, let's see. This is a liquidity here. This is a liquidity. This is also a liquidity. And this is also a trend line liquidity. Not really clean. This trend line liquidity is not really clean like that, but I can still value it as a trend line liquidity. And mind you, now there's no key level here to hold price up. You understand? That means there's no key level that, let's say, price will sell then buy up. There's no key level like that here. You understand? So this, if price starts selling now, it's a smooth sell. You understand? It's going to sell down to this place. The only key level here, right, have been used. All of them have been used except this guy, except this key level here. You understand? This open close have been used. This Malaysian support resistance key level have been used. You understand? So what do I need to do now? I need to go down to my lower time frame to see if there's a sell setup here. Obviously, I'm sure there's going to be a sell setup, because this is a key level, that is a key level, and here is a liquidity. All right, from higher time frame, let's go to 4 hours. Let's see if there's anything for us to use. Yes. I think the trend line is actually clean on the 4 hours. So let's see. Let me see this guy here. This guy still stands as a liquidity, actually, an external range liquidity. So and there's a key level here on the 4 hours that is actually syncing with the daily time frame, which price just tapped right now. I see. I would like to see an order block, to be frank. So let's go to 1 hour. Let's see if there's an order block there. There's no order block there. So I will not want to sell until I see a shift in market structure. What do I mean by that? Whereby I see something like this, price have actually pulled up, then let's say then break structure here. You understand? I like to see price break structure here. Sorry, let me delete that. I would like to see a setup, not just market structure shift. I would like to see a setup actually. This is what I mean. There's a sweep here of liquidity. So I would like to see price do something like this. It have swept already. I would like to see it break structure, create any inducement or structural liquidity like I explained. You understand? I'd like to see price do something like this particular pattern here. You understand? Then I'll put, let's see. Then I'll put my entry here. If I don't see this on this particular pair, right, I'm not selling, I'm not buying. I'll just watch the market do whatever it wants to do. You understand? So if I don't see something like this, I'm not going to dare to sell. You understand? My capital is really precious to me. So let's go to USD Swiss francs. Let's see. I think I'm too technical. That's why people are running from this particular live analysis. So let's see. This USD Swiss francs. Let me remove all these things. Now, mind you, USD Swiss francs is actually bearish, but from the weekly time frame, you can see it's heavily bearish. So now, even though I said I'm not going to mark break of structure from my weekly time frame, on this particular pair, I'm going to mark it in order to know if price have actually changed structure. So there was a major break of structure here, right? There was a major break of structure there. Oh wow, it's 1 hour already. I think I need to move fast. So now this particular low that was broken, right? The high that broke this low, right? This particular high is a strong high, right? And since this particular high have not been broken with the body, obviously on the daily time frame of 4 hours, it might be broken, but we're talking about our weekly analysis here. So since this particular high have not been broken with the body on the weekly time frame, right, I still consider this particular trend as a sell. You understand? Until this particular high here have been broken with the body. What do I mean by that? That means if I see price break like this with the body, you understand? All these things here are just weak. Price is just sweeping it. You understand? Until I see a break of structure like this. You understand? Before I would consider this as a change of structure to buy. But for now, all this is still a sell trend. And so now let's mark our liquidity. There's a sweep of liquidity here. This key level have been used already. So now, what other key levels are here? This one have been used. Let's see. This guy have been used. So looking at this particular pair, since I said I'm going to sell, I won't waste any time. I'll go down to daily to see if there's anything substantial there for me. Okay. There was a break of structure here on this particular trend. But mind you, weekly time frame is actually bearish. But on the daily time frame, let's see, price actually broke structure. Let's see. One thing I know for sure, any analysis that is making me to think too much, I will run from that analysis, to be frank, because analysis is not supposed to be difficult to analyze. You understand? So let's see. Let me go down to the 4 hours. I'm just looking at this particular price action. Let's see. Oof. USD Swiss francs and USD JPY. They are not giving a clear setup for whatever direction you want to go for, even though you see the direction from the 1 week. But obviously, I can see a liquidity here. You understand? And mind you, since weekly time frame have not changed structure, right? I can still decide to sell. You understand? I can see a liquidity here. And let's see. There's no strong zone, supply zone for me to sell. This is too far away from the liquidity. So since this particular guy is giving me tough time, I'll skip it. Simple as that. Let's go down to CAD JPY. CAD JPY, I have a setup, and this particular setup is for sell actually. and I still stand with this particular sell because I actually analyze it with this week in mind. Why? Because a market structure shift have occurred here on the weekly time frame, right? Price swept this liquidity at the top, then broke structure with the body here, signifying a sell. You understand? And there's a liquidity here, and above that liquidity, there's a key level, right? Even though it's far, mind you, these weekly, right? Price can decide to push up into that zone. So looking at this, as I said, this is a sell for me because I've seen a market structure shift for sell. So what do I need to do? I'll leave all this marking here. There's a liquidity here, number one. There's a key level here. This particular buy trend that is happening here, I'm not sure there's any buy setup to buy here. So I'm not going to do anything buy. I'll just wait patiently for price to come to this place. So let's go down to daily so we can see what I'm talking about clearly. So now looking at this daily now, we can see that there's an order block here, right? This particular bullish candle or orange candle, right? There's an order block there, which is a valid supply zone for price to use. And if you notice here now, this particular buy trend that is happening, this is just buying straight without pulling back, making all these particular price movements like vulnerable for price to come back. Let me go down to 4 hours. Let me go down to 4 hours. So to me, this particular guy is still valid. It's still valid. I don't mean invalid, please. It's still valid. So I'll be waiting for price to come to this place and wait for confirmation. Immediately I get a sell confirmation, I'm selling down. So on this pair, I'm expecting price to come to this place, then sell down. Even though I'm not going to sell down to this place, I might. Mind you, this particular short tool I use here, this is weekly time frame. This doesn't mean that my SL is going to be here, please. You don't need to put, you don't need to enter the trade here and put your SL here. Your SL cannot, the money you have cannot really cover for this SL. So let me delete this thing. So this is what I'm expecting on CAD JPY. So for now, I think it's best I stop this particular live stream here for you guys to tell me which pair you would like me to analyze or any question you have. So guys, the mic is yours. The stage is yours. If you have any question, just let me know. If you want me to analyze any pair right now, I will do that. And I'll take everybody's question if there's any before I end this live stream. Then the other weekly review, I'll just record it and add it to this one. So guys, do anybody have any question? Or I should just continue analyzing the remaining pair? What did you say? Yeah, come again. Yeah, Emmanuel.
Okay. I said you talk about confirmation. So how are you going about that confirmation, or how can we go about the confirmation that you always talk about?
Okay. So confirmation now, there are different kind of confirmation. Yeah, Emmanuel, you can make your hand good. So now there are different kind of confirmation, right? And most times what I use two type of confirmation. Number one, I use MSS, which is popular. Everybody know about that, market structure shift. This is what I mean by that. That means whenever price gets to my entry on my POI, right, I'll go down to either the 15-minute time frame, 30 minutes time frame, or 1 hour time frame. You understand? Now, why I mentioned these three time frames is due to how quick do you want to get your confirmation. Most times, all of them have their advantage and disadvantage. You understand? Like the 1 hour time frame now. 1 hour time frame confirmation might take time to form. You understand? But looking at 15-minute time frame, 15-minute time frame, we actually form quickly. And that is why I pick my market structure shift as a confirmation from the 15-minute time frame. Now on the 15-minute time frame, if I go down to the 15-minute time frame, this is what I want to see. Let us imagine that price have reached this particular place. I'll go down to my 15-minute time frame. Then I would like to see price do something like this. Let me go down there, self. Let me just use 1 hour. Me going to 1 hour time frame, that doesn't mean I want to show you guys the 1 hour time frame confirmation, please. So now let us assume this is a 15-minute time frame. I would like to see something like this, right? Then a break of structure here, right? This one type of market structure shift, please. A break of structure here. Then I would like to enter from this place. No, not from this place, please. I would like to see a sweep here, then a break of structure, then a pullback before price sells. You understand? So now this is what I'm looking for on my market structure shift. This here is a market structure shift confirmation. This particular this particular top here was the one that triggered our POI, then sell down a little bit. I'm not going to follow the sell here. I'll wait to see a sweep, then a break of structure, then I'll put my entry either on a fair value gap here, right? Then wait for price to buy up, tap me in, then sell. So this is a MSS confirmation, market structure shift confirmation. Then if I'm to use 1 hour time frame confirmation, I don't really wait for something like this. All I wait for is an engulfing candle. What do I mean by that? Now, let's say price tapped into our POI. This red line is our POI, right? Then we'll see a strong bearish candle like this that close below this particular one. You understand? Now, this is an engulfing candle. This is an engulfing confirmation, I mean, or any of them. So immediately I see this sell and price break this particular place with a body, right? I'll just pull my entry here. That means I will wait for price to come, pull back a little bit, then sell. So I'll be putting my entry here. Let's see. I'll put in my entry here. Then my SL is still going to be on my actual SL. Or if I decide that I have mind, I'm going to put it here. You understand? But most times I'll just put it on the actual SL. Then enter the market here. Then target my 1 to 3. You understand? So these are the two major type of confirmation I use on the 1 hour time frame or 30 minutes time frame, or use a market structure shift on the 15 minutes time frame. I don't know if that actually makes sense to you, Emmanuel.
Yes, it makes sense.
Yeah, so there are so many other confirmation, but I don't have that strength to be cramming all those things. Or I know them. If I see them in price action or in market, I know them and I will use it. You understand? But I don't have that time to be catching their name. Some of them, they call some of them. You hear morning star candle confirmation. You hear so many different things. You understand? So yeah, I don't know. Do anybody have any question again before I end the live stream?
I would like you to work on Euro USD.
Okay, Euro USD. Okay. Let me delete all these things here. Let me just go to Euro USD. Let's go. Oh, I have a buy trade there, Seth. So on Euro USD, let's see. This is the weekly time frame. All right. And I don't really need to look at all those things. So this is what I need to look out here. This particular price action, this is what I need to look out for. So now looking at this particular place, there's a sweep of this previous external range liquidity. There's a break of structure here. There's a break of structure here. Now, this particular trend or price action is letting us know that price is actually bearish at the moment, right? And what do I need to do? I need to sell. But that doesn't mean that I will sell always. You understand? Now, why do I make this statement? Right? Now, price just broke a major low here, right? And whenever price break a major low, we'll be anticipating a buy into this particular leg. But mind you, this is 1 week, please. So I won't be anticipating a buy into the 50% zone of this 1 week. You understand? So let me go down to daily time frame. Let me go down to daily time frame. On the daily time frame now, looking at this particular place, right? Price is actually showing us, giving us sign of it actually buying up. You understand? Because of this major break of structure, right? And not just because of the major break of structure, but because price currently is sitting down on a discount level on this leg. You understand? Price is sitting down on a discount level on this particular leg. You understand? So that is one of the good reasons to actually buy this particular pair to the 50% zone or somewhere here. Let me just say somewhere here on this key level. This place. So now looking at this now, since I know where price is sitting at right now, price is sitting at the discount zone. As I said, I want to buy. So now let me mark out my key levels now. I'll mark out, this is a liquidity here, number one. There's a liquidity there. Then also there's a key level here that price, that means if price wants to buy, price will want to target this particular key level. So now, since I've marked out my liquidity and key level for why I would like to buy, and also know why price is going to buy from the higher time frame, I'll go down to 4 hours. Going down to 4 hours now. Now I notice something here on this 4 hours, right? This is the strong high that price created. Not really a strong high, a major high that price broke above, right? This is a major high that price broke above. You understand, signifying that I won't really call this a change of character. Why? Because overall price is bearish. You understand? So this is not a change of character. This is just us trying to counter trade. You understand? Due to prices sitting out, price is sitting down on the discount level. So now, looking at this is one of my valid reasons to buy. Number one, even though I'm countering, and number two, there's a liquidity here, a sweet liquidity. There's a liquidity here. And also there's a key level here, which is this open close level. And there's a sweep of liquidity here that I'll call. This particular sweep of liquidity. Price swap this liquidity and target the external range liquidity. This is an external range liquidity, right? This is an internal range liquidity. This is an internal range liquidity. So now the same thing wants to happen here too. This is an internal range liquidity. And this an external range liquidity. So even though we are countering, right, there's a valid reason why we are countering and why it is worth it. You understand? There's a valid reason why. So sometimes whenever I'm countering, I'm not just countering because I'm greedy or because I just see any setup. Now, this is from the daily time frame, weekly time frame, I've explained why price is going to buy. You understand? Down to the lower time frame where we're able to see a proper setup for this buy trade. You understand? So now I'm looking at this now, right? There's an open close candle here, level I mean. So I want to go down to 2 hours to look for order block. Right now on 2 hours, I like picking my order block from 2 hours. Now looking at this particular zone here on 2 hours, right? I won't really call this an order block. I'll call this a time-based order block. You understand? Why? Because this particular order block formed immediately before the actual order block, right? Let's see. This is the major low that was created. So this is the actual order block. And immediately there was a time-based order block here. And price immediately used it and created another time-based order block, which is this. I don't know if you guys are. I hope I'm not being technical too much. So just crazy, man. So so this particular candle here is a time-based order block here. So it's a valid reason to put my entry here. It's a valid reason to put my entry here and my SL here. I can decide to actually put my SL here. You understand? Because if this particular order block gets violated, all this other block will get violated too. You understand? Because all of them have been used except this particular time-based order block. You understand? So I'll expect if I can decide to put my SL here, but I'll be very strict with my confirmation. Even though I don't put it here and I still leave it here, I will still be very strict. But technically, this is where my SL needs to be. You understand? So I'll be expecting price, right, to sell down to this place. To sell down to this place before targeting the external range liquidity. So this is what I'll be looking out for this new week we just enter. That means I don't really know how many days this is going to take to hit TP. You understand? It might take 2 days. It might take 3 days. News, if there's news, it might take just 1 second. So so now I'm looking from the weekly time frame now. Looking from the weekly time frame, right? We're expecting price to pull back down to this place before then buy up. You understand? Even though we know that price is bearish, right? But right now, price is actually sitting down on the discount level. You understand? So, Emmanuel, I don't know if that actually makes sense to you.
Yes, sir, it makes sense.
Emmanuel, does that make sense to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. And mind you, there are key levels here to support this particular buy, even though we are countering. There's a key level here, right? And also, this particular low was swept, making this low a protected low. You understand? But obviously, we know from the 2 hours time frame, if that other block gets violated, this guy will get violated too, this particular low. So this is one of the major reasons I used to know why an SL or a particular low is not going to hold. You understand? Just like that USD JPY. You understand? So that is that for Euro USD. So we're expecting a buy.
A few moments later.
Yeah, okay. So as I said, I'm going to be really, really fast and quick. So this step 200, right? We're done with all the currency pairs and metal I trade. So on step 200, right? Obviously the price is still bearish, obviously. So this is the weekly time frame. So now what we'll be marking on weekly time frame is just liquidity and key levels, right? So one thing we need to notice here, we need to notice that there was a sweep of liquidity here, right? So basically this particular high is protected. We need to target this low here. This is our next low to target, but that doesn't mean price will just come down and target here, right? And as you can see here on this particular price action, price is ranging very hard on the weekly time frame. But nevertheless, since there is a strong liquidity above, right, I'll expect market to accumulate, which means ranging, then manipulate upward to sweep this liquidity, right, before distributing downwards. So this is an order block. This is an order block. So yeah, this is what I have for step 200 on the weekly time frame, but nevertheless, since we are expecting price to buy up, I would like to join that buy even though it's manipulation. So let me mark out my key level. There's a key level here, number 1, and this is also an order block too, mind you. So instead of marking from this place as my order block, I'll mark from the body, right? So I'll be expecting price this week to fall down to this place, right? I don't think there's any sell setup here, and buy up. So whenever price reach this place, I'll be looking to buy up before I join the sell, right? So this is what I'm looking at. Let me see. Did price actually sweep this place? Yeah, it did. Let me go down to 4 hours. Let me see if there's any setup there making this price to sell. Let's see. There is no clean setup there actually, or there's no clean reason why it is selling. Understand? So I was expecting price to come down to this place before buying up, then follow the main sell. So that is that for step 200. Let's go down to, which pair is this? This is VIX 10, I think so. This is VIX 10 1S. So the weekly analysis we did last time, which is the still stand, I don't mean still stand, I mean it plays out well. Price pull back down, use this inverse key level, then buy back inside. So we'll still see a buy on VIX 10 1X, right? Mind you, there what do they call it? A CRT occur here, right? And right now price just tapped into that CRT level and it's buying up. So I'll still expect VIX 10 1X to buy up to the 50% level of this candle or above. Then let's go to the next one. This is, let's see what pair. This is VIX 100 1S. So on the VIX 100 1S, let's see. So these are previous analysis and it plays out well. It's still selling, right? So I'm expecting price to start buying from this place. So this new week, let me just remove everything since that was previous week analysis. Let's analyze fresh. So looking at this, price actually sweep this high, then close inside, giving us a weekly CRT, which is crazy, and it delivers. Now, so giving us a weekly CRT. So now this is what I'll be doing. I'll mark out liquidities and key levels. These key levels have been used here. This particular low is a liquidity, right? So this is what we're expecting. Same thing. I'm expecting a sell down to somewhere here, right? Then a buy up to this key level, this CRT key level. So that's what I'm expecting on VIX 100 1S. So I'll be expecting a sell, a little sell down. Then my major move here will be to buy to this zone here. Then on VIX 31S. 31S is actually playing well from previous week analysis. Pull back down, then buys up, just like what we expected. So we'll be looking for buy. We're looking for a buy trade to this zone here or above. So yep. This same analysis still stand. So we'll be looking for a buy above on VIX 31X. Then let's see. VIX 91x. This VIX 91x. Do I have anything for this guy? Let's see. There was a sweep here, and price actually broke a major high, a strong high. So to me, right now, price have changed structure. Price is no longer bearish on the weekly anymore. It is bullish. So what I'll be looking for, I'll be looking for a buy, right? And since this particular place, this particular high is a hidden breaker block, right? Here like this. From here to this place, it's a hidden breaker block. So I'll be expecting price to push into this zone before buying. So if I see any sell here, I'm still going to catch the sell because the sell is on the premium. You understand? So I'll catch the sell down to this place, then buy up. So since price have changed character, then let's go to VIX 51x. VIX 51x actually delivered as expected. I mean VIX 50 actually delivers as expected from last week. Right, pull back down, then our new week buys up. So for this current week, let's see, let me delete all these guys. Let's see, there was no break of structure here. So since this was the last major high, price didn't break it. So price is overall, this price action is still bearish, this pair is still bearish, but that doesn't mean I cannot buy. So I'll mark out my key levels. So there's a key level here, number one, a bullish key level. There's another bullish key level here. So what we're expecting price to do here, right? I expect price to pull down to this place and buy up. So now, if I see any sell setup here, I'm going to take it. And if I see any buy setup here on the lower time frame, I'm going to take it too. So that is that for VIX 51x. I mean VIX 50. Then let's go down to this VIX 75 1x. 75 1x. 75 1x didn't play out as expected. It did actually, because it pulled back down before going up. So, but that was that for last week. Let me make another analysis for this week. So, mind you, price is bullish on the weekly time frame. So what do I need to do? I mark out my key levels. This is a bullish key level number one, and mind you, this key level have been used, right? So now this is what we're expecting from VIX 75 1x. Yeah, so on VIX 75, as I said, right, price is bullish, you understand? So did I just say price is bullish? Well, let's see something here. Yeah, actually, price is bullish. Not looking at this particular place, but this leg, price is actually bullish. So marking out my key levels, we're expecting price to pull back to this place, which is doing, then buys up. You understand? As I always say, that doesn't mean if I see a sell setup, I'm not going to get in. I'm going to get in because basically, if it meets my necessary criteria, so you understand. But this is my weekly review, right? Price selling down to this place before buying up. So let's go down to this VIX 15 1x. So on VIX 15 1x, we anticipated price last week to buy up, which it did, right, before selling. And obviously, price is actually selling on this new week, right? Price is actually selling. Let's see. I think that is the same bias I will have here. And I remember saying something about this week, this particular daily candle might not reach here, but it might reach, you understand? So, but it didn't reach there, so I'll just take that as that. So I was anticipating a sell down or price get back to this place, tap there before selling, but overall I'm anticipating a sell this week on this 15 1x. Then what pair is this? This 25 1x. As I said last time, we're expecting both a buy and a sell because this particular previous candle, if I remember, didn't close in a way we wanted it to close. You understand? So price actually decided to follow the sell. Price decided to follow the sell, which it did, buys up a little, then started selling. So I'll be looking for sell on VIX 25 1s, right? So I'll be looking for sell. Actually, I have a sell setup there which is playing out quite all right there. So the next pair here, is VIX 10. Very crazy pair. So VIX 10, I'll be anticipating a buy on VIX 10. Why? Because there's a sweep of an external range low on liquidity and price closed inside, making this guy a CRT here, a CRT. So what am I expecting? Even though this price is buying right now, I'm expecting price to drop down to somewhere here before buying. You understand? So this is what I'm expecting on VIX 10 1x. Then on VIX 10. Then on VIX 75. VIX 75 actually played out well as we anticipated a sell occur. But for this new week, let me delete all these things. For this new week, let's see. So for this new week, our bias is still sell, even though price have changed character on the weekly time frame. But due to price is currently at the premium zone, and actually price gave us a CRT confirmation or model here, a sweep then close inside the range of this particular candle. You understand? And there's a key level here which price is respecting. So now I'll be going down. If I want to take this trade during this new week, I'll be going down to my lower time frame to look for a setup in here, which obviously I will see, or I'll look for MSS, market structure shift, to join this sell down to this place. These are our final TP, then these are our first TP. You understand? So let me go down to 4 hours. So let's see, these 4 hours. Let me go to daily time frame. There's an inverse OCL here. Let me go to 2 hours now. Okay, price actually broke structure here and pull back inside. Let me see if I can use this particular guy, this particular high, as my inducement high. Let me see if it meets my criteria. It does actually. So let's see. So let's see. So we're looking for a sell, right? So this is liquidity, inducement liquidity. So basically, from my weekly time frame, I'll expect price. We might see price buy back up inside again. You understand? Before selling down to these guys. So yeah, something like this. So this for VIX 75. Then let's go down to the next one. The next one here is this VIX 100. I don't really fancy this VIX 100 that much, but it played out as expected. Price got to this yield. This open close level, tapped into the fair value gap, then start selling. So I was still expecting a sell here. So if I go down to, since my target have not been met, because this is my target here, If I go down to the lower time frame, I'll see a setup or a reason to sell down here. So this would be my weekly review for VIX 75. I mean VIX 100. Then the next one here is VIX 51x. So VIX 51x actually played out as expected, smooth. I don't really know why I didn't pay attention to this guy. Played out as expected. Tap into this zone, buy up into even above where we expected. So this is good. So I'll still be expecting a buy. Let me see. Price have actually changed character. So I'll still be expecting a buy. So let me mark out fresh key level and liquidity. So number one, this is my first key level. Number two, this is an open close candle, open close level. So I'll be expecting price to dip down into this level before buying to this place. Right, our new week. So if I see any sell setup, I'll take it, but I'll be mindful where my TP will be, so that in case price reach this particular place, right, or anywhere here, or 50% of this orange candle, I'll be very conscious of that. So that is that for this 51x. Then for jump, this jump 10, my guy. So jump 10 actually delivers. It sells very hard, took out all the trendline liquidities, and almost came to this key level here. Let me see. I think it did tap it. It actually mitigate it. So it's crazy, man. So my I just saw something that made me laugh, because I actually analyzed what was going to happen last week, which played out. And inside last week, I analyzed what is going to happen inside this new week. Look at this key level I pointed out. So what we're expecting price to do is to buy back into this place before continue selling. So so that is that for that is that for VIX. I mean for jump 10. So you buy back into this zone before selling. So that's pretty much everything for this week review from the weekly time frame. So guys, thank you very much for taking your time out to watch this video, and I really appreciate you guys. Good night. And also do well do well to subscribe to the YouTube channel, please. Thank you very much.